Are you ready for us? Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming. It's the 50th annual Fraley Festival of Traditional Music, and this is a Saturday night concert, and we're glad to see you. And we're going to start off, what a surprise, with our traditional jam. And the first tune is Soldier's Joy in the key of D, if you're playing along. A+. We all played the same tune and stopped at the same time. All right, next up we're going to do St. Anne's Reel. And if there's anybody out there that is just dying to join us, you're welcome to. We have 2 more tunes we're going to play. So we'll play this. This group has a little bit of power behind it. I really appreciate it. Okay, well, we have about one more. And I think it's going to be Ragtime Annie, 2 parts, please. 2 parts. Yeah-do-do. Take a deep breath. Okay. Thank you, Jammers. That was great. What a great way to start the night. Of course, being Jammers, they like to sort of hang around and talk. Okay, well, so I'm Barb Coons, and I more or less try to organize this great group of people to have this festival. And we thank you. Well, we are very pleased to be able to be here and celebrate together and share music. And I just can't believe what a great feeling it is. And thank you all for coming. And so what I'm really pleased tonight, now some people said, where are Billy and Betty, Billy Cornett and Betty Fornbrock? They are fine. They actually got a job they really wanted to take, and they went to Florida. But they're coming back next year, and so, which is great. So, but I had to look for some new MCs, and I'm really delighted to get somebody you might have heard last night. She plays the dulcimer, and she sings, and she can talk to all of you, and she will be for the first half of the night. And this is Sarah Kate Morgan, singer, and see, they already love you, Sarah. So without further ado, Sarah Kate.
Hello, Evan. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to the Saturday night concert of the 50th annual Fraley Festival of Traditional Music. Celebrating the music of a particular family, but also celebrating the family that we choose to have, being surrounded by the musicians that make up our chosen family. And without further ado, I'm going to kick off the evening with my new friend, Mr. Paul Epstein from Charleston, West Virginia. I also understand he just came off of a rousing third place victory at Vandalia Gathering.
In the senior division.
Got it. He's also a member of a contra dance band called the Wild Ones. Please give it up for my new friend, Mr. Paul.
Thank you. I'm gonna. Yesterday, I came up during the open stage and played a few. I was invited to play a few tunes, and I played a tune that I thought was I attributed to JP, but I realized afterwards that was an error. But at the age of 70, I'm allowed to make mistakes of things where I learned something 50 years ago. Or almost 50 years ago. So I had learned the tune that I played then, a version of Miller's Reel from a fiddler by the name of French Mitchell from Buffalo, West Virginia, which is in Putnam County. Anyway, I thought I'd make up for that by starting with a tune I'm sure JP played, and I remember hearing his version of it, and I think that I basically will play that. Called Birdie. So I'm going to do a tune that's called "Say Old Man, Can You Play the Fiddle?" And it's a mashup of a bunch of versions I've heard over the years. I think the first person I heard play this was Glenn Smith, a fiddler from West Virginia, up in what county? Well, maybe it was Jackson County or Roane County, somewhere. Yeah, I think it was Roane. But anyway, Glenn was quite a good fiddler, and dedicate this one to him anyway, whether it's his exact version or not. Oh yeah, and there's a little kind of joke on some recording of this I heard where the fiddler says, the two people, maybe the guitar player says, "Hey, say, old man, can you play the fiddle?" And then the fiddler says, "Well, by cracky, I can play a little." So there's a lot of history in eastern Kentucky and in West Virginia around coal mining. And you've probably, if you've lived around here long, you probably have heard of the mine wars in the early 1900s around unionization. And in West Virginia, there was a battle, the culminating battle, I guess, of the mine wars, in which actually the U.S. Army was the only time the U.S. Army was ever called out to fight against American citizens in the United States, in our territory, and it was to stop the miners from crossing Blair Mountain, and that's where the battle took place. And 1921. It would have been 101 years ago last week. And a few years ago, there was a mining company that wanted to retrieve coal from inside that mountain via mountaintop removal coal mining. And there was a big movement to try to stop that from happening and preserve the historic nature of Blair Mountain. And during that time, I wrote a tune, and which I called Blair Mountain, and then I wrote words to it a little later, and that's what I'm going to play. And it's in waltz time. Tell me what is a mountain that's been blasted flat, and what is a valley that's been filled? What is a stream that's been covered with rock, or a forest where the trees have been killed? In West Virginia, there's a mountain where miners took a stand, fighting for the right to unionize. Now the unions are weak, and the mighty machines want Blair Mountain to give up its pride. West Virginia once were mountains, forests and streams, and people who thought they were free. But they sold their souls to the company store to keep the lights on in Washington, D.C. stand up and save our mountains? Who's gonna stand for the trees? Who's gonna stand for the lives of the people against the power of the machine? Blair Mountain.
We'll bring up my good friend, Miss Tish Westman, accompanied by Hunter Walker. Both of these folks hail from Beckley, West Virginia. Tish, you can find her most any day as the resident luthier at Tamarack in West Virginia, and you know, she takes the bowed psaltery to new heights, both in the building and the playing of the instrument. I also spied her doing some pretty lovely knitting earlier, and I asked Hunter, I was like, what should I say about Tish? And he says, Tish is good at everything she does, and she does just about everything.
Child Grove. What you got in that thing, Tish?
Some noise. Make some noise. This is a bow with horsehair. I came off of that horse right over there.
Freshly harvested.
This is called a bowed psaltery. It has 25 strings, natural notes on one side and sharps and flats on the other, and you're just bowing one note at a time. Lots of practice. My husband, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
And I make them at a facility called Tamarack in Beckley, West Virginia. It's a 59,000 square foot facility for West Virginia arts and crafts. And we sell them there, make them there, and play music there.
You missed an important component of Tamarack. It's the best of West Virginia.
Yes.
Tish Westman, the best of West Virginia.
What are we doing?
September.
A dear friend of mine, Larry Conger, some of you may know him in the dulcimer world, wrote this song as a chord exercise, and the song fell out of this class that he was teaching, and it's called September on the Mississippi. Beautiful song. that a gorgeous song? You suggested Spotted Pony. You did. Humidity is not good for sliding. Is it sprinkling? I'll do one more for you real quick. Good.
Something I've always enjoyed about watching Tish and Hunter play is, like, when you see them, you're watching two musicians who are accomplished and are good listeners, but you can also tell that they just really like each other a lot. They play with such tenderness. We're going to bring up Mr. Andrew Bevan from the Wilmington, Ohio area. And I'm a little jealous because he told me that his first Fraley Fest was when he was 2 months old. If you see the beautiful T-shirts for this year's festival, this man is responsible for them as the graphic designer for the festival. Please welcome Andrew Bevan.
50 bonus points for pronouncing my last name properly. That scene. Oh, I won't melt. We're gonna play a few tunes for you this evening. First one we'll do is Red Wing. Did it sound out of tune? Okay. All right. I'm like, do I need to tune this thing again? This humidity's messing with it. All right. Next, I guess we're keeping with the wildfowl theme, the bird theme. We're gonna play Ukpik Waltz. Thank you. And for the last tune, we're going to do Along the Navajo Trail. Watch me forget the words now. I got faith in you. Every day along about evening, when the sunlight's beginning to pale, I ride through the slaughtering shadows along the Navajo Trail. When it's nighttime and the crickets are calling and coyotes beginning to wail, I sleep by the smoldering fire along the Navajo Trail.
I love to lie and listen to the music while the wind strums a sagebrush guitar. While over yonder hill the moon is climbing, it always finds me wishing on a star. Well, what do you know? It's morning already. There's a dawning so silver and pale. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail. Already there's a dawning so silver and pale. It's time to climb into my saddle and ride the Navajo Trail, and ride the Navajo Trail. Thank you.
He was playing them $5 chords. I'm real just tickled pink that I get to introduce this next lady. This is Miss Carly Dawn Milner, who hails from Rowan County. And I was first introduced to Carly Dawn through the Cowan Creek Mountain Music School over in Letcher County. And Carly has played with groups, has been a part of the Clack Mountain String Band in the past. She's played at Merlefest, Carter Family Fold. She's also studied with Jesse Wells at the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music. I love her banjo playing and her fiddling, but I think her voice is one of my favorite things to listen to. I think if you wanna hear what Eastern Kentucky sounds like, you just listen to Carly Dawn Milner. Today in the ballad workshop, I was just looking out in the woods and at the shape of the mountains, and I thought, this is the perfect auditory illustration of what our mountains look like. The way her yips and sighs and the shape of her vocal phrasing is just one of the most delightful things I get to listen to. So please welcome my good friend Carly Dawn Milner.
Oh, thank you, Miss Sarah Kate. That was awful sweet. Anybody get that? Record that. I want to copy that. That was pretty sweet. Thank you, Sarah Kate. Well, I am so pleased to have my son here tonight, Eliott. Y'all have probably seen him here for years. We'd camp, he and his brother and me, and he plays guitar and sings, and so he's going to play a tune with me. And Eliott, tell him real quick about this song.
It's called Hap Hap Happy Day, and it was written for a feature animated film called Gulliver's Travels back in 1939.
Eliott is a animation historian, so if anybody's into that, he's got
that's
some.
That's my main expertise.
There you go. All right, Eliott, we'll give us a go then.
1, 2, 3, and 4. For you and me, for a hustle, we all the clouds have rolled. It's a happy day. Toodaloo-loo-loo-loo-day. The sun shines bright and the world's alright. It's a happy day. 420 sunbeams are dancing on my face. 420 more are dancing every place. It's a happy day. Toodaloo-loo-loo-day. For you and me, I'm right. It's a happy day. It's a happy day. Toodaloo-loo-loo-day. For you and me, for us and we, all the clouds have rolled away. It's a happy day. Toodaloo-loo-loo-day. The sun shines bright and the world's alright. It's a happy day. 420 sunbeams are dancing on my face. 420 more are dancing every place. It's a happy day. Toodaloo-loo-loo-day. You can't go wrong if you sing that song. It's a happy day. Happy day. Happy day. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Eliott. That was so cool. I just love that song. We play that about every day, and it does make for a happy day, y'all. It sure will brighten up your day if you're having an old day. Well, all right. So y'all have heard about all these pandemic albums. And I wish I could say I already got it recorded, but at least I got it wrote. So I thought of doing a song real quick that I wrote. I got a couple different pandemic albums. One's a country and early country honky-tonk. And then another one is about songs of freedom. And so that's what this one's about, and the way I reacted to finding out about the terrible facts of life as a kid, and when you're first told about racism and terrible ways people were treated and things. So this is where that song comes from. And it's called The Mighty Ohio. Is this mic all right here? We good? All right. Let's see. Get my fingers to work, y'all. When I was young, I would hold my breath over the bridge across the mighty Ohio. You could look down at brown water through the grated metal rail that carried us from shore to shore. I wanted to at least hold it long enough to reach this side of freedom land. Looking sideways at two starkly colored lands being joined by mighty Ohio. Looking behind me at Kentucky, getting smaller as the sun shrunk in the west. I cried for the folks that didn't make it, for the little children that didn't get a chance. Looking ahead at crystal water, breaking on moonlit cold dust covered sand. Yeah, we lived on the train tracks, coke plants and smokestacks, coal dust covered freedom side of the mighty Ohio. I wanted to at least hold it long enough to reach this side of freedom land. Looking sideways at two stars, the colored lands being joined by the mighty Ohio. make it onto some railroad heading to the north. God have mercy, I pray for the forgiving, for the meanness ever possessed a man. Looking at the crystal waters, breaking on moonlit coldest covered sands. Here we lived on train tracks, coke plants, and smokestacks, coldest covered freedom side of the mighty Ohio. Thank you, thank you. I'll play another real quick one on that same record concept, Freedom Song. Now, this is an old abolitionist song, and but I'll play a little real quick bit for you here. Let's see. There's a low green valley on the old Kentucky shore where we've whiled many happy hours away. A-sitting and a-singing by my little cottage door, there lived my darling Nellie Gray. Oh, my poor Nellie Gray, they have taken you away, and I'll never see my darling anymore. I'm sitting by the river, weeping all the day, for you gone from the old Kentucky shore. One night I went to see her, she's gone, the neighbors say. The white man bound her with his chain. He's taken her to Georgia for to wear her life away, while she toils in the cotton and the cane. Oh, my poor Nellie Gray, they have taken you away, and I'll never see my darling anymore. I'm sitting by the river, weeping all the day, for you've gone from the old Kentucky shore. My eyes are getting blinded, I cannot see my way. There's somebody knocking at the door. I hear the neighbors calling, see my Nellie Gray, goodbye to the old Kentucky shore. Oh, my poor Nellie Gray, they have taken you away, and I'll never see my darling anymore. I'm sitting by the river, waiting all the day, for you've gone for the old Kentucky shore. Oh, I'm sitting by the river, and I'm weeping all the day, for you've gone from the old Kentucky shore. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it. Thank you.
We're going to remember some people who have passed on this year. Memory is one form of immortality, and music is certainly another. And I'm convinced that all the people that I know that we have lost in the music community, I think about all of them quite often. Like Paul David Smith, I think of him every day. And I know here at the Fraley Festival and at Cowan Creek, we will always remember Jimmy and Ada McCown. I first became acquainted with them back in the days when they had the Outdoor Plumbing Company band. I've got an old record of theirs where they look just like hippies did back in the 1970s. You know, the long hair, not real long hair, but definitely the big mustaches. And I thought they were so way cool. And they also, Jimmy was an excellent technician. They had a sound system in those days. And not only did they travel around and play bluegrass with their sons, it was a family band. He would do the sound for a lot of the big bluegrass festivals. Jimmy was an airplane mechanic. He was one of the funniest people I ever knew. We were having a big jam. The last festival we had here, we were having a big jam session out in the parking lot, and oh, we were playing some great stuff, Jimmy and me and some other fiddlers, and nobody's paying attention to us. They were all walking by, so we took a break. And then we started talking, and Jimmy started talking about fiddles, and he started talking about this carbon fiber fiddle that he had made that he was playing that you could hear all over this state park. It was just god-awful ugly, but it sounded just great. And we got to trading fiddle stories, and it got pretty funny and pretty animated, and pretty soon we looked around and we'd drawn a big crowd. Everybody out there was listening to us. They didn't want to listen to us play, but they wanted to listen to Jimmy tell stories. One time he said we were sharing a house at Cowan Creek, and we got to talking about religion. Jimmy was very intelligent, and he could talk about just about anything. We got to talking about religion. He said, if the Ku Klux Klan ever comes to my house, they'll have to burn a question mark in my yard. I thought, it doesn't matter what we think we know, but I think we're all in a good place, and we're all going to be in a good place. And Ada was she was a love. She had to miss a lot of the music that we were doing because she was having to take care of her mother for a long time. And I loved the way they sang together, those old songs, and that song that they used to sing that Jimmy's mother wrote, Octavia Triangle. That's one of the greatest songs of all time, and that's become a standard in Kentucky music, written by Jimmy's mother. His fiddle tunes and his banjo playing and his and Ada's singing, it'll always be with us, and it's part of the Fraley Festival, part of the Cowan Creek Festival. Phil, you want to tell them about that fiddle that Jimmy made, carved the neck and scroll on?
Yeah, I'm good friends with a great luthier in West Virginia named John Preston. And he found out about these necks that were owned by Jimmy. There was two of them. This is one of them, and he thought, well, that's way too pretty just to hang on the wall, so he made a fiddle. But the neck and the scroll are Jimmy's, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I've been playing this fiddle for a couple of weeks, and it's a beautiful fiddle. If anybody wants to come and look at his work, then I'll have it here, and we'll be playing all night in the parking lot probably, so you can come out and check it out.
So that story will follow this fiddle as long as the world lasts.
I have the honor to introduce a couple of my good friends, the New Beckham County Ramblers. Mr. Stephen Middleton can tell us a little more about it, but I understand that New Beckham County was originally part of Carter County. Steve is accompanied by my good friend Scott Rucker from over in Ashland. And we're missing 1/3 of the New Beckham County Ramblers, Mr. Nathan Kaiser, who I learned many a tune from when I was attending Morehead State, is home. He unfortunately injured his back. I think we can make up a good story, though. Perhaps he fought off a bear or something. Please welcome the New Beckham County Ramblers.
All right, thank you. We're the New Beckham County Ramblers. Let's all send some good vibes out for Nathan Kaiser, who hurt his back today, and he's here with us in spirit. Of course, we're named for Beckham County. If you drive through Olive Hill downtown, you'll see the sign for County Forum, Beckham County, which existed for about, I think, 80 days in 1904. And New Beckham County Ramblers came from, there was another band at one time that played around here in Fort Falls called the Beckham County Ramblers in the 70s. We just stuck like an old folk band, the name New in front of it. So thank you all so much. We're going to play some tunes here for you. Ready? Waterbound and I can't go home. Waterbound and I can't go home. Waterbound and I can't go home. Back to North Carolina. I'll stay all night and don't go home. Stay all night and don't go home. Stay all night and don't go home. Stay with me till morning. Wake up, Charlie, let's go home. Wake up, Charlie, let's go home. Wake up, Charlie, let's go home before the water rises. Stay all night and don't go home. Stay all night and don't go home. Stay all night and don't go home. Stay with me till morning. Water's up and I can't go home. Water's up and I can't go home. Water's up and I can't go home. Back to North Carolina. I'll stay all night and don't go home. Stay all night and don't go home. Stay all night and don't go home. Stay with me till morning. Thank you. That is Scott Rucker here to my left, originally from Rush, Kentucky, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm originally from Eliott County, Kentucky, out by Gimlet, if anybody knows where that's at. But all right, few people. Airport Road, as we used to call it. Well, anyway, this is next song is a song I wrote during the pandemic called Driving in Circles, which a lot of us did. Ready? It doesn't want to stop. All right, do we got time for one more, or are we? One more? Okay. All right, try to sing one here for you real quick. The problem is we're usually just getting wound up about an hour and a half into playing here. Do one more for you here. Do check us out online. We have Instagram and Facebook, New Beckham County Ramblers. Generally always playing somewhere here and about between here and Lexington. So thank you all. to wait. When I get you now, must I hesitate? Shake my tree, tell me how long have I got to wait? Before I get you now, must I hesitate? One more time. Thank you, folks.
The next gentleman coming up, I think, needs very little introduction. But my good friend, Mr. Rich Kirby, originally, I believe, from Maryland area, Washington D.C., and made his way down in the '60s to help with architectural work, and eventually became an Appalachian volunteer and just stuck around to study the effects of strip mining in this region. He's been associated with Apple Shop and WMMT for over 25 years and has been instrumental in the work of broadcasting the sounds and the stories of Appalachia all over the world through Apple Shop and June Apple Records and WMMT. And please welcome Mr. Rich Kirby.
Thanks, Sarah Kate. Very quick Jimmy McCown story before I get started here. The last time I saw Jim, I was playing with Jim and Nate Polly. We had a little band called the Old Irregulars, and we played at the dedication of the renaming of the Apple Shop Theater in Whitesburg. And we were up on stage playing, and the whole time, Ada was sitting in the front row, and the whole time we were on stage, Jim and Ada were just shamelessly flirting. Here's one from Doc Boggs. When I left my father's house, I was young and blind. I made a mistake and I done wrong, and I'm dissatisfied. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. Acknowledge I done wrong. When I was at my father's house, place I love so dear, where they've got plenty to eat and I'm a starving here. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. Acknowledge I done wrong. I'll go back to my father's house, fall down on my face, say I've been unworthy, I'll seek a servant's place. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. Acknowledge I done wrong. Father seen him coming. He met him with a smile, throwed his arms all around him, says, "This my wandering child." Father said to his servant, "Go kill a fatted calf, invite all friends and relatives, my son come home at last. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home, acknowledge I done wrong." Banquet was in session. All sorrow had passed. Father's heart was filled with joy, his son come home at last. Elder brother was jealous. I believe I heard him say, "Gave my brother his portion, I never went away." Father said to his eldest son, "You've been both good and kind. Not a calf I've given thee, but all I have is thine. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home. I believe I'll go back home, acknowledge I done wrong. I believe I'll go back home, acknowledge I done wrong." Oh, thank you. Jim McCown actually got me in the notion of playing a six-string banjo. I don't play it near as good as he did, and nobody ever will, probably. But it has got endless opportunities for tuning. This is one of the standards, and most people play at about 75 or 80 miles an hour. Lee Sexton, actually, who has been known to play a few things at about 150, actually proved that it's possible to play this pretty slow. Little birdie, come sing to me your song. I got a short time to stay here, a long time to be gone. Little birdie, what makes you fly so high? 'Cause I know my own true lover is way up in the sky. Married woman, come see what you have done. You've caused me to love you, and now your man has come. Little birdie, come sing to me your song. I got a short time to stay here, a long time to be gone. Some dark holler where the sun would never shine, than to see you, another man's darling, when you used was to be mine. Little birdie, come sing to me your song. I got a short time to stay here, a long time to be gone. Rather be here with you, my darling, than any place I know. But just to keep down trouble, it's down this road I'll go. Little birdie, come sing to me your song. I got a short time to stay here, a long time to be gone. Thank you all.
When folks think of Appalachian fiddling, we often think of hoedowns and square dances and fast, quick fiddle tunes that are hoedowns. But I think one of my favorite things about Roger Cooper's playing is that his playing. He can hoe down with the best of them. He can play jazz standards and swing tunes, and he challenges your expectations of Appalachian music. I know he's originally from Vanceburg, Ohio. In 2017, he won the Governor's Award for Traditional Arts here in Kentucky. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's Ohio. Vanceburg, Kentucky. He also is a South Arts Fellowship, was a recipient of the South Arts Fellowship for Traditional Arts in the South in Appalachia, and I'm just delighted that we get to hear him. He just told me that he spent 20 years playing bass guitar and made good money, and then he switched over to fiddle and out there starved to death. Please welcome Roger Cooper.
Yeah, thank you all. I'll play a tune I learned from Buddy Thomas. One of the first ones I learned from him called Trot Along. Yeah, thank you. Thank you all. I think I'll play a Merle Travis tune. He's one of my heroes, one of Kentucky's heroes, and but I learned this tune off of Robin Kessinger. You know. Anyway, now I forgot the name of it. Anyway. Yeah, it's the Dance of the Golden Rod. That's the name of that. I learned that off of Robin a long time ago. I'll do a tune I learned from George Hawkins. Greek medley, he called it. Yeah, thank you all.
Next up, we'd like to welcome Robin Kessinger and his student, Miss Hazel. Robin is from St. Albans, West Virginia, and Hazel's from Pocahontas County. And she tells me that she's been working with Robin for about 6 years now, since she was about 12. And Robin himself is a Winfield champion. But I think one thing I appreciate about him the most is he shepherds young players into the spotlight right along with him. And I think that's just lovely. But please welcome Hazel and Robin Kessinger.
St. Andrew. Thank you. Thank you, Jordan Hess. Jordan Hess on the fiddle and Sarah Riley on the guitar. And
Hazel Riley.
Hazel. Oh, man, that's her mom, Hazel, or Sarah. I get them mixed up all the time. For years. I've had her, 5 or 6 years, and I get, for some reason, they look a little bit alike, but I get names mixed up. When I call her Sarah, she calls me Dan. That's my brother. We're gonna try Big Cajun Joe. Big Cajun Joe. Do you want to start it? Big Cajun Joe. Okay, you start it. Yeah, go ahead, go for it. Thank you. Uh-oh, I lost my cane back. I'll sing the song for you, show you why I don't sing very much. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Some of you older folks are probably, well, let's see. Some of you older folks probably remember Hank Snow. He sang Moving On, and I like to listen to Homer and Jethro, and these guys, they butchered all these songs. But this is one called Moving On, and I always spring one. Is it sliding down on you? Is it? Let me tighten it up. Put the McGilla grip on it. Anyway, they butchered a lot of songs, and they made parodies out of them. It's called Moving On, and that first line is, the old hound dog's feeling mighty fine till he fell into a barrel of turpentine. I stopped right in the middle of that the other night, and I had to tell them why. I found out when I was about 9 years old. I was helping some friends paint one of my friends was painting a metal building, and he wasn't allowed to go out and run around with me until they finished painting that metal building. It was aluminum, kind of aluminum paint, and when we got done, we had to go clean out the paint brushes. He had a little chihuahua, and that thing was yep the whole time, barking at us. And we went down to the apple orchard to clean him out and clean out the paint brushes, and he was slinging out a roller, and he had that chihuahua. Its name was Ricky. I don't know why I remember that. He wasn't mean. He just liked to bark all the time, and he was the whole time. And Alan was trying to tell me a story, and that dog just kept yipping, and he turned around and he had that roller and said, "Oh, shut up, Ricky." And I mean, we're like 10 years old, and he took that roller and he went, oh, sorry about that. Is your bow okay?
It's okay.
Okay, good. I didn't break it, did I?
No.
Okay, I'll buy you another one if I did.
No, you won't.
Anyway, the dog, he did that. I won't sling so hard this time. He took that, he took that roller and he right up that dog's, from his leg all the way up his tail. And the dog, I'd never seen anything like this in my life. That dog looked like it was praying. He stuck his head way up like this, and his back legs were up like this. And it was about this time of the year, leaves, were in the apple orchard, and that dog took off like, and he was running as fast as a four-legged dog, kicking leaves up everywhere. Wow, we never saw anything like that in our life. And we fell on our backs screaming, laughing. That's terrible. Animal activists would probably hate that, but when I got home, I was telling Dad about that, and I said, "Dad, I don't know what happened. That stuff must have set him on fire." And he said, "Oh, yeah." He said, my dad, my grandpa, he was born like late 1800s. He said, that's what boys used to do for fun. They go to town, they have a turpentine rag or a washcloth, and they'd see a dog, and for entertainment, they would up their back end. And of course, they just scoot and they go fast. So I'd never seen anything like that in my life. So you'll get it. And I spring things on Hazel every time she plays with me. I don't think you ever played this before, did you? Okay, well, she knows the rhythm on it. And I think I sprung a couple on Jordan here. It's called Moving On. The old hound dog was feeling mighty fine till he fell into a barrel of turpentine. He's a-moving on, he's a-moving on. He hit the gate doing 88, he's a-moving on. The old tomcat was feeling mighty mean when it got his tail in a sewing machine. He's a moving on, he's a moving on. He ripped the stitch when he hit the ditch. He's a moving on. Play it, Jordan. We hired a man to work on our car, and he grabbed hold of the spark plug wire. He's a moving on, he's a moving on. He turned her loose when he felt the juice. He's moving on. We know the fella that come from the city. He picked up a little striped kitty. Now he's moving on, he's moving on. We held their nose while he buried his clothes. He's a moving on. Face turned white as a sheet when his false teeth fell in his cream of wheat. He's a moving on, he's a moving on. He wiggled his ears and he shifted his gears. He's a moving on. Uncle John got mighty clean when he fell into that washing machine. He's a moving on, he's moving on. He just couldn't straddle that doggone paddle. He's a moving on. Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
Is Conrad around? I haven't seen him. When I first met Conrad Shiba in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee, at the Cumberland Gap Dulcimer Gathering, and since then he's become a good friend. No matter how many months lapses in between I get to see him, he always greets me with a smile, and I really enjoy playing with him. A tasteful and lovely banjo player and singer and guitar player. Conrad's from Danville, Kentucky. Used to teach at Center College, teaching chemistry and geology, and as well as led their folk music ensemble. Please welcome my sweet friend Conrad Shiba.
Thank you, Sarah Kate. So I teach geology. Doug just said I'm a rock star. It's so nice to be here for the 50th year. I think I came here first 39 years ago. The Corndrinkers were just kids then. You know, they had that virtual festival last year, and some people did online things, and Barb found an old video of me and put it in there, and I didn't recognize myself. My hair was all solid black, probably 35 years ago. Well, you know, country music, they say commercial country music started around 1929 with some recordings by a couple of artists. One was the famous Carter family, and the other one was a guy named Jimmy Rogers, who was known as the yodeling brakeman. And I'm going to do a song that he did, but in a rather different way. This song's called He's in the Jailhouse Now. And if you remember the song or the movie Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? They sang that song in it. I think it was Jimmy Rogers' version, but you'll find this thing a little bit different here.
and gamble. He made his money cheating all the time. He had a little game called euchre, blackjack, dice, and poker. He thought he was the slickest guy in town. But I got word last Monday, they locked up Campbell on Sunday. They got him in the grave, though they in the jailhouse way downtown. Old Campbell's down in the jail, nobody for to go his bail. And the judge, he said he wouldn't accept no fine. He's in the jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Well, I told that Campbell once or twice, stop playing cards and shooting dice. He's in that jailhouse now. I remember last election, all the folks say was in action, trying to elect themselves a president. Along come my buddy by the name of Bill Austin. He walked from Danville up to Boston, trying to find an honest sentiment. Now my buddy Billy was a voter, and Billy was a big promoter. He was always looking for some good advice. They told Billy go to the polls and vote across that very top row, but instead of voting once, he voted twice. He's in that jailhouse now. He's in the jailhouse now. Well, I told that Billy back at home, better leave that politician business alone. He's in that jailhouse now. I went to town last Friday. I met a little gal named Ivy. I thought she was the prettiest thing around. I began to call her honey, and she began to spend my money. We found a swell cafe and we sat down. Well, folks, I was really in it. I was spending every minute buying whiskey, wine, homebrew by the quart. But when I went to pay that man, I found the little lady's hand. It was in my pocket where my money was. She's in the graveyard now. She's in the graveyard now. Well, I told that judge right to his face, the lady's hand was out of place. She's in the graveyard now. She's pushing up daisies, and I'm in the jailhouse now. And I'm in the jailhouse now. Thank you. I'm going to take a minute here and put this guitar in a different tuning. I came here last night. First thing, I broke a string and had to go hunting up another set. So trying to do this with a new set of strings isn't real smart, but I wanted to do this song. Not too bad. When I get my new house done, sail away, ladies, sail away. I'll give the old one to my son. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Now come along, boys, and go with me. Sail away, ladies, sail away. We'll go down to Tennessee. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Now come along, boys, go with me. Sail away, ladies, sail away. And that's the place I want to be. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Now hush now, children, don't you cry. Sail away, ladies, sail away. You'll be an angel by and by. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Sail away, ladies, sail away. If ever I get my new house done, sail away, ladies, sail away. I'll give the old one to my son. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Don't you rock 'em, Daddy-O. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Sail away, ladies, sail away. Thanks very much.
Well, Conrad, thank you so very much. That was a lovely bunch of tunes, beautiful. And it was a lot of fun last year to be able to say, Conrad, we have a little video of you. So I also want to thank Sarah Kate Morgan. I can't see her. She's, what? Okay, well, Sarah Kate, thank you. This is the first time she has been at MC, and I think she did a great job. And I hope she comes back. Okay, well, before our next MC starts, I do want to say a few things. We're having a lot of tributes tonight to those we remember, those we've lost. And I want to mention we lost Jim Cook last year, and that Jim was a part of Tellico. He's Sherry Stanforth's father, Nan Cook's husband, and he offered a lot especially to the jams up at the lodge. In addition to the programs we had here, I feel like he had a lot of joy in his playing and his sharing music, and he spent countless hours jamming, welcoming people, helping them understand Appalachian culture. So he really contributed a lot to our festival, and I appreciate that and just want to convey that to his family. So thanks a lot. Okay, well, with that, I want to introduce our next MC. Actually, I'm not introducing you. Our new MC is going to introduce you. You know, I have to tell people what to do. Anyhow, so I'm pleased to introduce Robin Duffy, who's we've known all his life, and he's come here all his life just about, and he's going to do the next half of the show. So, Robin, take it away.
Thanks, Barb. Good evening, everybody. Come on out. Well, up next, everybody, we have Hunter Walker. If you've been to the festival at all in the last few years, I'm sure you've seen Hunter around. He hails from Beckley, West Virginia. You know, he's a young guy, but he's been coming to the festival for Hunter, how long have you been coming here?
2009 was my
2009. So yeah, we're getting up there. 10 plus years.
We're all getting older.
It happens to the best of us. But it's always a pleasure to hear a musician like Hunter, who really has become a master of his instrument and his craft, and always a pleasure to hear him play. So, ladies and gentlemen, Hunter Walker.
First one's a waltz I wrote, and I'd like to dedicate this to the Cook family, to Nancy and Sherry and the Stanforths and all that for Jim. So, this one's called the New Dawn Waltz. Thank you. All righty. I got to get one of my very best buddies up here to share fun in this. Y'all know Sarah Kate. Y'all love Sarah Kate Morgan, don't you? I'm sure you do. Hard not to. I love to collect fiddle tunes, and I procure what I deem to be the most fun ones and for stage. And this one's actually not that. It sounds a lot harder than what it actually is. I asked Sarah Kate to back me up, and if you listen close, I said, well, it's really just Boldham Cabbage Town. So if you got that, then you're halfway there with this tune. It's a Gary Harrison tune called "Road to Westfield," and I've not played it today, so this should be an experiment. Thank you all so much.
Well, that was some great dulcimer music. It's always good to hear it. Sounds great out here. Sounds good in the mountains. So, coming up next, if you've heard this music at all in any way, shape, or form, a lot of this music is about family, and sometimes it's playing together with your family members on your front porch. Sometimes it's finding people in the parking lot and jamming with them for the first time, and then they become family too. So what we have coming up next is Tellico. They're from the Cincinnati, Ohio area, and they're a family affair led by Sherry and her contingent. They're going to come up and play some beautiful music.
Lots of folks here. So, Mom, you can park right there. Sit in your chair. Hey, you want to?
Oh, you can sit right here.
Yeah. And I'll be here. And then, so we have enough. That's perfect. And come on in, Tellico. Hi, everyone. So I just have to say, one of the things that means the most to me in life is the first law of ecology, which is everything is connected to everything else. And when I was young and I showed up at the Fraley Fest so many years ago, I felt that. And then I went on to have children, and they felt that, and we know we've lost people we love. New people come on, though, sometimes. And Mama wanted to come up here today. She put aside her dulcimer for a little while, but she's decided to pick it up again. She'll sing along with us today. We have a small group today. My dad's here in spirit, but we have Corinne here and Aubrey, and Eli's taking the ACT, and Liv is working in a hospital. So we thought we would mix things up a little bit on our first song, and we would like the young and wonderful Mimi's grandchildren, Rebecca and Todd's children, to come up here and sing our first song with us. It's one the kids learned when they were really young. So Henry and Juliet and the wonderful, wonderful Sam, will you come join us? So it's because everything's connected. I kept coming back here because I felt love here. And so you kidders come right here. You ready? All right, so here we go. And I want to introduce my buddy at the end, a dear friend of mine, Mike Borschig, who invites me to his cabin in a holler all the time to have soup and play music with a few other good friends. Thanks for coming up here with us, Mike. All right. You want to fix it real fast? Yeah. We're going to fix that little string real fast. So usually that means I have to tell a joke. But I'm not as good of a joke teller as Sam. So Sam, can you peek over to Aubrey's mic while she's tuning that and tell everyone the joke you told me today?
What's a pig's favorite pet?
Anyone know? What's a pig's favorite pet? Sam, tell them.
A hamster.
All right. Aubrey, you have a good friend there in Sam. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, sinner man, where you gonna run to? Oh, sinner man, where you gonna run to? Oh, sinner man, where you gonna run to? On that day, run to the rock, but the rock was a melting. Run to the rock, but the rock was a melting. Run to the rock, but the rock was a melting. All on that day. Run to the sea, but the sea was a boiling. Run to the sea, but the sea was a boiling. Run to the sea, but the sea was a boiling. All on that day. All right. Thank you so much for singing with us. We're going to learn a lot of songs with them. We're planning on it. Thank you. Let's hear another round of applause. They have incredible rhythm, and they've all talked about the instruments they plan to learn. And there's some beautiful singing happening in this family, so I look forward to see what happens. We're going to do a tune that my dad loved. It's a tune you all have heard a lot. He always wants to play it. It's called Rough and Rocky. So we're going to play it now.
Darling, I have come to tell you, though it almost breaks my heart, that before the morning, darling, we'll be many miles apart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when he's in my arms asleep? Can't you hear the night birds calling far across the deep blue sea? While of others you are thinking, won't you sometimes think of me? Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when he's in my arms asleep? One more kiss before I leave you. One more kiss before we part. You have caused me lots of trouble. Darling, you have broke my heart. Don't this road look rough and rocky? Don't that sea look wide and deep? Don't my baby look the sweetest when he's in my arms asleep? When he's in my arms asleep.
And for those of you who have heard that song 432 times in the last few years, thank you. Except we love that tune. All right. So we're going to end on a tune I wrote eons ago. I don't play it a lot on stage, but I had a daughter convince me to play it tonight. And I heard her strumming on it, so we're going to give it a whirl. I'll say this. I'll say that any words that ever would come to me in a song that I wrote, such as the one we're about to play, would much be about this community and what it means. Because the music is a physical and beautiful representation of what it means to weave together care, love, patience, reflection, and joy. Continuance. There are frogs out here tonight. All right, here we go.
Two sisters and a mother planting a garden in May. Time is for memory, basil for love, lavender for a sachet. She crumbles some earth in the palms of her hands, says, take some, put it away. Carrying with you to a place of your own, your flowers will bloom from this day. Hand-me-downs for when you're children. Hand-me-downs for when you're grown. If you keep them all around you till the day you pass them on, hand-me-downs will lead you home. The sisters grow up and build bridges for tying together the miles. Some days seem close, others seem far away, tangles, struggles, and trials. One day there's news of a baby. The hands of the clock are rewound. In a small package, a quilt from the past with a note saying, hand this on down. Hand-me-downs for when you're children. Hand-me-downs for when you're grown. If you keep them all around you till the day you pass them on, hand-me-downs will lead you home. If the creek don't rise, she said, I'll be there. She says and hangs up the phone. She looks through a window, remembers a time when her family shared the same home. Sunset might mean a beginning, dawn might foreshadow an end. Together they bind up the edges of time, a promise to take and descend. Hand-me-downs for when you're children. Hand-me-downs for when you're grown. If you keep them all around you till the day you pass them on, hand-me-downs will lead you home. Mother leans back on a pillow, whispering words to live by. Her daughter's been closer to borrow her songs, wiping tears from their eyes. Remember, she tells him you can't always know what every tomorrow will bring. Measure your lives by the hearts that you touch, hope by the songs that you sing. Hand-me-downs for when you're children. Hand-me-downs for when you're grown. If you keep them all around you till the day you pass them on, hand-me-downs will lead you home. If you keep them all around you till the day you pass them on, hand-me-downs will lead you home. Thank you.
Get you.
Take the rake off.
All right, there we go. Okay. All right.
Well, thank you, Tellico. That was lovely. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention that, I did mention that they were, that was a family affair, and there were also some Fraley children on that stage, some great-grandchildren of J.P. and Anna Dean Fraley. Coming up next, we have Paul Brown. Paul hails from Chillicothe, Ohio. Paul is a wonderful, wonderful banjo player. I always like hearing him play. I've been explicitly told not to mention his profession, so I will not. He plays with the Holler Tones. He plays solo. He plays with other groups, I believe, as well. Please welcome Paul Brown.
All right, I'm from Chillicothe. Okay, I'm a dentist, so I just, it's all right. It's nothing like I'm not a hired killer or anything like that. I wanted to do a song that I wrote. This one is about my hometown of Chillicothe, Ohio, and this is what we do on a Saturday night, and it's called "My Chillicothe Girl." Can you get my foot in there? Is it coming through? I'm stomping, baby. Well, try to get my foot in there if you can. Well, I'm going downtown to Paint and Main Street, find a band with a stomp and a backbeat, start the night right with a DQ swirl. Stop by the Elks to see what's shaking. I like my triple cheese with bacon. Saturday night with a Chillicothe girl. Listening to 8-track tapes of Lester and Earl. Picking them country blues like Doc and Merle. Oh, we could get some Chinese takeout, go down to the river. A baby we can make out, living it up with the Chillicothe girl. Oh, she has green eyes and the cat named Harrod scratched my leg. She might be feral, hits the dance floor with a twist and a twirl. She thinks I'm a little too picky. Tried to dance, but the floor was sticky. Saturday night with a Chillicothe girl. Listening to 8-track tapes of Lester and Earl. Watching YouTube, something about a hound dog or squirrel. Oh, she loves my pick and she's a true believer. She thinks I sing like Justin Bieber. Living it up with a Chillicothe girl. Going to Walmart for a pine-cent sticker, hanging from the rear view mirror of my pickup. The lottery's big again, won't you give it a whirl? I'll drink a beer, you can scratch my ticket. Foggy Mountain Breakdown, listen while I pick it. Saturday night with a Chillicothe girl. Listening to 8-track tapes of Lester and Earl. Maybe you're the one who makes my little flag unfurl. Try to get a tattoo, no, don't be reckless. Bob Evans serves a mighty fine breakfast, living it up with a Chillicothe girl. Try to get a tattoo, no, don't be reckless. Bob Evans serves a mighty fine breakfast, living it up with a Chillicothe girl. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to play tonight, but I was inspired by Hunter Walker's Waltz. It was so beautiful. I thought I'd try to play something pretty. This is actually an old fiddle tune, but as many of us know, fiddle tunes always sound better on a banjo. This is called The Brushy Fork of John's Creek. Thank you. I wrote another song. It's about a bowling alley in Texas. And since it's Saturday night, Ed wanted to hear this one. Since it's Saturday night, here we are having fun. We'll think about all those other people out having fun in their own way. And this is called the Bowlerama. Get me a burger, or get me a beer in a family-friendly atmosphere. I don't want no trouble, don't want no drama. Taking my baby to the Bowlerama. Friday night, the kids bowl free. Half-price liquor sounds good to me. You need an exclamation point and not a comma when you talk about the Bowlerama. They got arcade, pizza, country picking, keno, pool, and roasted chicken. I load up the baby and the baby's mama. Family time, Bowlerama. When I hear that fiddle, away we go. Swing my baby to a do-side-do. Call up the preacher and Barack Obama and meet us down Bowlerama. night till 9 o'clock. The boys are lined up round the block. Gonna find love or emotional trauma. Plenty of both at the Bowl-O-Rama. I got a 70 caddy, steer horns on the hood. Bumper is rusted, but she runs real good. I feel like Elvis or the Dalai Lama cruising to the Bowl-O-Rama. Hey! I'm gonna get me a burger, get me a beer in a family-friendly atmosphere. I don't want no trouble, don't want no drama. Taking my baby to the Bowl-O-Rama. No trouble, no drama. Taking my baby to the Bowl-O-Rama. All right. Thank you.
Well, I don't know about you, but my plans for tomorrow might involve a burger, beer, and some bowling. Thanks, Paul. That was great. One thing I love about that, I do like hearing full bands and the interplay between the musicians and their instruments, but I also like hearing solo music and solo instruments and solo singing. So I understand. So next we have Joe Cook coming on stage. Joe is from around near where I grew up in Yellow Springs, Ohio. I think he's going to sing us a song. Joe Cook, everybody.
Thank you. I normally do maritime music, and this is no exception. This afternoon in the ballad workshop, it came up about child ballads. One of the earliest child ballads that I know was the one about the mermaid. Now, that's not the one I'm going to do. But the one thing you need to know about mermaids, they have superpowers. If they exist, which maybe. They can, they sit on, they sit on a rock and with a mirror and a comb and comb their hair a lot. I guess there's stuff in their hair. And if they see a ship or something, and if they flash that mirror at the ship will sink. It's a curse on the ship. And so, nobody has ever survived that. So we're not sure, but. Anyway, this is a song that was written by Jeannie Maneely, who is a wonderful songwriter and maritime performer from the Chesapeake region. And it's about a mermaid who was a little bit outside the norm of what you think of when you think of mermaids, and a fisherman who had inadequate respect for women. Bunky, he was waiting for a big old fish to strike, daydreaming about women and the fight on Friday night. He hocked a loogie o'er the side and took another chew as something started thrashing, such as feisty fishes do. No sooner Bunky cocked his head, a female form appears. It's Nasty Nell, the mermaid, sure as Bud is beer. Damn it, Captain Nellie cried, you snaggle my caboose, and I'll give you to the count of two to up and cut me loose. Now hold on, sister, Bunky said, I don't believe we've met. So why don't you just thrash until that hook is good and set? Then I'll haul you up on deck, and won't we have a time? A salty gal such as yourself would probably suit me fine. Now Nellie ain't no beauty, I forgot to tell you that. Tattoos on her biceps, barnacles up her back, seaweed sprouting from her chest, a scar across her gut, and she'll curse like any blue nose when she gets her dander up. Go to hell, said Nasty Nell, stubbing her cigar. You're nothing but a lily-livered, lousy lump of lard. I'd jump the bones of Davy Jones or sit on Ahab's knee before I'd let the likes of you lay chiggered mitts on me. Bunky starts to chuckle just to watch the mermaid spit. He settles in his deck chair to watch her pitch a fit. Tell me if you're tired, love, he says to Nasty Nell. I don't want you all tuckered when I ring that party bell. Damn it, Buster, Nellie cried, this isn't any joke. Piss me off and in a flash I'll up and sink your boat. I love a spunky lady, Bunky answered with a grin. Then he got his fishing tackle and began to reel her in. Go to hell, said Nasty Nell, stubbing her cigar. You're nothing but a lily-livered, lousy lump of lard. I'd jump the bones of Davy Jones or sit on Ahab's knee before I'd let the likes of you lay sugared mitts on me. Now there, Bunky told her, there's no need to be distraught. All's fair in love and fishing, and you're the one got caught. Nellie pulled her mirror out and flashed it from her hand. $50 says you ain't setting foot again on land. Then she flipped her scaly tail and jiggled loose that hook. She flipped old Bunk the finger, and without a second look, she dove down deep and swam away without a pretty please. As Bunky felt the water start to swirl around his knees. Go to hell, said Nasty Nell, stubbing her cigar. You're nothing but a lily-livered, lousy lump of lard. I'd jump the bones of Davy Jones or sit on Ahab's knee before I'd let the likes of you lay chiggered mitts on me. Oh, there's a lesson for the learned. For them, what would be wise? Don't monkey with them mermaids, what'll cut you down to size. They are the stuff of legend, such as found in any book. Why, a mermaid, she can sink you with a single dirty look. There's countless songs and stories, though no witnesses survive. They don't appear inclined to leave us sailor boys alive. They'll flash that bloody mirror, and down in the sea you'll drop. Just ask our buddy Bunky next time he washes up. Go to hell, said Nasty Nell, stubbing her cigar. You're nothing but a lily-livered, lousy lump of lard. I jumped the bones of Davy Jones or sat on Ahab's knee before I'd let the likes of you lay chiggered mitts on me. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Next, we have somebody I believe who's coming to the Fraley Festival stage for the first time. John Ryster hails from Round County, Kentucky. It's John Ryster and Friends.
Yeah. This is we used to be off a rocker string band a long time ago, and now we're just friends. Look, you see that? I caught that with my feet. There ain't a microphone there either. Yeah, there you go. Caught it with my feet there. Whoa, that's awful close there. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. I'm getting nervous with that big purple thing in my face. Yeah. Oh, this is Casey Webb on the guitar and Thomas Albert on the banjo. And we're going to play a few tunes for you. Thanks for inviting us to come. And we're going to start with Greasy Coat. We were going to play that tune that last guy sang, but I just threw my accordion in the woods. I thought, heck with it. And if we're out of tune, we're not going to charge any extra. Ready? kiss and I don't tell. All you sinners and go to hell. I don't cuss and I don't lie. I'll go to heaven when I die. All right, now we're going to tune real quick, and this is really the dangerous part of the show. Does that sound right? Holy mackerel. I mean, it's close. Close enough for me. Okay, we're going to do Martha Campbell, right? Martha Campbell? It is Martha Campbell? Sometimes I say something else and it's the wrong song, but we're going to play the right one. I think we're all going to play the right song. I think so. Okay, we're going to see how it goes. We'll probably play the right song, and it might be Martha Campbell. think we did it. I think we did that one. I think.
I didn't quite make it.
All right. Well, that's why we got 3 people up here. If you only got 2, you've only got a 50-50 shot. But if you got 3 folks up here, you're bound to have at least 2 of them playing together. That's why we start this thing, I think, with the big group at the beginning, is you got better odds that way. Getting it right. Okay, let's see. What was that last tune we're going to play? It's a Luther Strong tune. Glory in the Meeting House. Are we tuned? Oh my goodness, here we go. I give all that banter. I had everybody writing the poem for hand, Casey. Everybody's eating out of it. They're like, oh my gosh, these guys, they've got it all figured out. And they're just friends. They don't even play together. How in the world did they put this on? And here we are, daydreaming, You go on at 9:50 at night one time, and it falls to pieces. I want Sarah Kate to be at every one of our shows from now on. I don't care what anybody else thinks about it. She's cracking up every time I open my mouth. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Glory in the Meeting House. And we're going to even try the high part. Oh, yeah. We're going to try it. You'll find out. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, but we're going to do it. Because it's got to be close to 10 o'clock by now. Ready? Wasn't too bad. Thank you, folks. They're giving us the red light, so we're going to take off now. Thank you for having us.
What do you think? Should they come back next year? We'll have them. Up next is a band that has been coming here for 1 or 2 years. You may have seen them around. They're called the Corndrinkers. They're from around Springfield, Ohio. I have a long history with this band, but I won't get into that tonight. I'll turn it over to them. This is the Corndrinkers.
Yeah, two strings bands in a row. Before we get the music started, we'd like to have our last tribute for the evening for people who have passed on this past year. Many of you remember the duet of Jennings and Bodie Morgan. Bodie Morgan was a staple of our festival for about 40 years. And 50 years, my gosh, time goes, Barb tells me, 50 years. The Morgans were from around Asheboro, North Carolina. For the recent years, Jennings passed away several years ago. For recent years, we've been so much enjoying Bodie's vocalizations, and indeed it was their singing which brought them to this festival. Some of you know and remember when Anna Dean Fraley was producing the festival. Anna Dean was very vocally focused. And when it was she who brought the Morgans to this stage and brought them back, they found a home. Their duets were so pleasant, and they focused on a lot of Western material, a lot of sort of popular Western material of the 1940s and 50s, and a lot of Hawaiian music as well. So they brought a little bit different taste to the festival stage here, and audiences, including all of us, responded appropriately. They were so very good. Jennings played a very tasteful and simple lead guitar work that complemented their duets just right. And it was such a pleasure to hear the old harmonies on mostly, as I say, Western tunes. Anna Dean would join in. She would join in as a trio, and especially doing those old songs like Cool Water or Dusty Skies. And Anna Dean loved those vocalizations and recorded Dusty Skies with her daughters, Michelle and Robin, who are here. You weren't in on that?
I think it was Tumbling Tumbleweeds. No? All right, we're getting all the facts wrong.
Well, Anna Dean recorded anyway and loved to present, and she would come up here and do trios with Jennings and Bodie along with Avanella and get those old Western songs. And in later years, when Bodie was having difficulty getting around, she'd come in here on a little golf cart, and Doug especially they practiced all afternoon. Doug would do the dobros, and Linda would do some harmonies with him. And so it's part of that festival idea to think about music that has gone before, but it's not that we are mourning their passing so much as we are celebrating their lives. That may be a cliche, but man, I really believe it right in the soul of my heart. We celebrate their lives, and we rejoice that we were able to share some of that livelihood with them. So we thought, since they focused a lot on Western music, we thought we would do a cowboy song. Cowboy Doug Smith over here. He's not wearing his cowboy hat today. Well, Bodie always wore cowboy hat. It was just part of her costumery. It was part of her stage presence. So Doug's going to sing, and Linda will sing an old Western song for us from the movies, from these old cowboy movies, called Riding Down the Canyon.
White-faced cattle lowing on the mountainside. I hear a coyote whining for its mate.
Granite spires are standing all around. I tell you folks, it's heaven to be riding down the trail when that desert sun goes down. chores are over at our ranch house on the plain, and all I have to do is lay around. I saddle up my pony and go riding down the trail, watch that desert sun go down. Riding down the canyon to watch the sun go down, a picture that no artist there could paint. White-faced cattle lowing on the mountainside, I hear a guy whining for his mate. Cactus plants are blooming, sagebrush everywhere, granite spires are standing all around. I tell you folks, it's heaven to be riding down the trail when that desert sun goes down.
Far away on a hill, right?
Oh, no, that's the wrong
it's the
one.
other one.
We could do
In the
that one
Greenfield.
if you
No,
want.
no.
All righty. All right, we'll take it from the Arizona desert, all those cacti out there. We'll bring it back to a little bit south here. We'll go down to Virginia for this one. In the green fields of Virginia, dear, I miss you, where the roses red and white around this crew, where they hugged you in my arms and gently kissed you. Oh, the robins sang the sweetest song you knew. I am longing for old Virginia, oh Virginia and you, and I'm hoping the soul within you is longing for me too. To Virginia, just like the ivy, my heart clings ever true. And I reckon in the spring I'll bring a little ring to old Virginia and you. All right then. Oh, tonight I'm far from you in old Virginia. I will love you as I did that day in June. And when springtime comes again to old Virginia, I'll build a little cottage just for two. I am longing for old Virginia and you. And I'm hoping the soul within you is longing for me too. Oh, Virginia, just like the ivy, my heart clings ever true. And I reckon in the spring I'll bring a little ring to old Virginia and you. Oh, that's it.
Yeah, we remembered it.
What are we doing?
Hog trough ring.
Oh, can you hear me? Sorta? No.
Hardly.
Take this one.
Here, take this one.
Take that one back.
I'll take
got
this one
several.
back.
Well,
Yes.
folks, you successfully made it to the end of the Fraley Traditional Festival of 2023. Were you going to say that, Barb?
This is
It's not-
2022.
It's the wrong
Or
year, Tom.
2022. Well,
And no, Tom, the quilt's wrong.
maybe I let Barb make that rap. Go
Well,
ahead. Can I? Before she does that, can I introduce? I'll introduce the band to you. Back here on the bass is Floyd Alexander.
Yay,
Who can't, the festival can't be done without him, just like with Paul Tierney up here in the sound and the people at the state park. We can't do it without them.
That's right.
Linda Scott and Tom Duffy are the responsible for the last announcer, Robin, so we'll do that. But the people who put the festival on most are the couple on the other side, Mr. Doug Smith on the guitar. Would you give him a round of applause? He does all this stuff.
He gets the quilts up, guys. That's a big job.
And I think probably you know, those of you who are still here, but the backbone of the festival is Miss Barbara Coons here in the middle. So.
Well, I want to say it's really been a pleasure this year. I want to thank everybody for coming out and helping us be together again and share our music. And it's been really, really great. And we're ending on time almost, which is like, this is maybe a miracle. But we'll take it. We'll take it. Anyhow, but we do want to thank you. We have one more fiddle tune we're going to do, the Hog Trough Reel. And I like to suspect there might be some picking out there tonight, so you can leave here and go listen for those beautiful sounds people are making in the parking lot, in the campground.
And I'll give a shout out to my fiddle buddy here who won Galax #1 on this tune. Is that correct? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
On Hog
Barb
Trough.
Coons.
A while ago.
We'll butcher it up, though.
Yeah, in a while.
Thank you very much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
2022.
Have a good evening.